So, you're thinking about making the move to Bunnell, Florida, but you want to know more about living in Bunnell and knowing the pros, the cons, the good, and the bad before you make the move to Bunnell, Florida? Then this video is for you. We're going to take a deep dive, kind of get all of those questions answered so that you can feel as prepared as possible and make your move as smooth as possible. And we're going to get after it right now. If this is your first time on the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and you'll be notified every single time we put out a new video all about living here in Northeast Florida. My name is Stephanie Schulis with Keller Williams Realty, and we get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you every day looking to make the move to Northeast Florida. So whether you're looking to move in the next 9 days or 90 days, shoot us a call, send us a text, send us an email, and we'll do everything we can to help you make a smooth move to Bunnell, Florida and the surrounding area. Today we're going to talk about a few things in Bunnell, Florida, and kind of give you guys some background on everything there is to know about moving here, including some pros, some cons, and just make sure that you guys are fully prepared. Bunnell, Florida is where the capital seat for Flagler County is, so it is where our courthouse, our jail, and things like that are. It is also where you'll see some of our more industrial sides of Flagler County. This is where the majority of our auto repair shops and things like that are kind of located, or right on that stretch in Bunnell. If you have some more questions about the geography of Bunnell and how it all works out, be sure to check out our Bunnell Maps tour, where we kind of take a deep dive in showing you spatially just where everything is laid out. The first con to really talk about living here in Bunnell, Florida is that we are on a hurricane path and we do get some pretty big storms that come through here. However, we don't get them as often and they tend not to be quite as destructive as the ones that you'll see down in South Florida or the ones over on the west coast of Florida. Our city and county here also do a great job of helping residents get prepared for the storms and kind of just help them through the impacts that the storm may have. One of the pros to living here in Bunnell, Florida is that we are an income tax-free state, and so that'll really help your dollar stretch a little further here compared to some other states and some other areas that you may be looking to retire in. One of the cons of living in Bunnell, Florida is that you likely are going to have a commute if you're looking to work. There are a lot of folks that will commute to some of our larger cities like Orlando, or maybe even just up to St. Augustine or Palm Coast that just have more businesses in general. One of the pros to living in Bunnell, Florida is that it is a small town. Bunnell, Florida is actually the second largest landmass city in the state of Florida. Everything's pretty spread out. A lot of people move to Bunnell to get a little bit more acreage on their property, which really keeps the number of residents fairly low. That being said, there is still such a tight community feel. You really get that security of small town living when you're looking at living in Bunnell, Florida. One of the cons to living in Bunnell, Florida is that there is a lot of mixed zoning, meaning your single family residentials, your typical home may be next to a manufactured home or a trailer home or a commercial building, etc., and that may not be of interest to a lot of people. One of the pros to living in Bunnell, Florida is that there's very few regulations on what you can do with your property. If you wanted to park your boat, your trailers, your work vehicles, and things like that on your property, not a problem. If you wanted to keep a trailer on your property, it's typically not going to be a problem. In addition, like I was mentioning, a lot of the property sizes are larger, a little bit more spread out, if not in multiple acres, so you do have a lot of room for stuff like that without it kind of crowding down around your home. One of the cons of living in Bunnell, Florida is that we do have critters and bugs here, and that does include gators. If you're a little worried about gators, I've got a few tips for you. The first is always assume a body of water has potential to have a gator in it, even if it is salt water, including the beach. And the other tip is if you don't bother them, they don't bother you. I've got small children, I've got dogs, and I'm really, on a day-to-day basis, not very concerned about the gators or the snakes here. You just learn to watch out for them, and if you see them, you don't bother them, they're not going to bother you. In terms of bugs, I have got a long list of things that I do for prevention as well as treatments when I have my bug bites. If that's a concern of yours, let me know. I'll be happy to shoot over all of my trial and error reports for you. One of the big benefits about living in Bunnell, Florida, and the surrounding areas of Florida is all of our great water activities here and just outdoor in general. We're surrounded by water. We've got the beach, the intercoastal, we've got lakes and streams and rivers and ponds, and there's just a ton of activities focused around water, from surfing and fishing to boating and kayaking and paddle boarding, just swimming, splashing, having a great time, and just relaxing in the beauty of it all. There's also a lot of opportunities to golf nearby. There's lots of hiking and walking and bicycling, a lot of bird watching and wildlife to observe. It really is just a serene, beautiful part of Florida that's largely untouched. And we just love it here. One of the cons of living in Bunnell, Florida is that it does get pretty hot and humid, especially here in July and August. Those months I tend to stay a little bit more inside, and I'm enjoying the outdoors a little less in those months, but any other time I am out there absolutely enjoying everything there is to know about this part of Florida. Alright, and the last pro there is to know about living in Bunnell, Florida is that there is no snow. You can forget about shoveling your driveway, shoveling your walkway every winter. Instead, grab your beach shovel, go head out to the beach, and play in the white sand that we have here, and enjoy your time living in sunny Florida. If you have any questions on Bunnell, Florida, you can give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. Contact information is going to be in the description below, and we'll see you on the next video.